Welcome into another edition of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm Tim McMaster, and stepping into the cage to take some cuts today, it's Diamondbacks starting pitcher Patrick Corbin. First off, Patrick, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tim.
Fans, you know how this works. You can use the hashtag #ChattingCage. Get your questions to us via Twitter or press that red button at the bottom of your screen. Get in line, and you actually get some FaceTime with Patrick Corbin. Patrick, we're going to start on Twitter, and Phoenix Sun 11 wants to know, was it challenging to get used to that Arizona heat?
Yeah, I guess more so in spring training when you're outside all day, and that's what's really hot. But Chase Field has a roof, which probably some people don't know, and they keep it cool in there during the hot summer days, and it's actually not too bad during game time. And later now in the season, probably when we get back home, they'll open it up when it's a little bit nice and cooler.
Yeah, most teams have a roof to keep out the rain, but the Diamondbacks have a roof to keep in the cool weather, that is for sure. We have a fan on the line here, Patrick, ready to go. If you could just tell us your name, where you're from, go ahead with your question for Patrick Corbin.
How are you, Patrick? I'm John. I'm from Tempe, Arizona, and I wanted to know what is your favorite road park to pitch in?
Let's see, probably San Francisco, where I just pitched. They have great fans there. It's always a sellout, big crowd, and definitely a good pitcher's ballpark. And whenever we can pitch against the Giants is always fun. And us having a rival and being in the same division as them, and they always have a great team, great lineup, great pitching staff, and it seems like those games are always tight.
Yeah, AT&T Park, certainly one of the gems around Major League Baseball. We're going to go back to Twitter now, Patrick, and Timmy Coy15 wants to know, what's your favorite pitch to throw?
Fastball inside has been something that has gotten me to this level, and have been able to be successful. But yeah, controlling your fastball is the biggest thing, and it makes my slider and changeup that much better. If you're able to do that, work ahead of hitters, keep your pitch count low, and if you can prove you can throw a strike inside and out, it keeps them guessing up there with what's coming.
All right, we're going to stick with Twitter, and Ant Brent wants to know, who's the Diamondbacks hitter that you'd least like to face?
Yeah, it has to be. Well, there's a couple guys now that are swinging the bat really well with A.J. Pollock and Paul Goldschmidt. So, I mean, between those two right now, it'd be really tough to pick which one I wouldn't want to face. I'm just glad they're on my team, but I think everybody knows the type of hitter Paul Goldschmidt is, and just how consistent he is throughout a season.
Yeah, it's always fun hearing from pitchers which guy on their own team they wouldn't want to face, and certainly glad that you don't have to face Paul Goldschmidt. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. We have some fans ready to go with questions. If you could just tell us your name, where you're from, go ahead with your question for Patrick.
Hi, we're Jacob and from Scottsdale, Arizona. We were wondering if you, Patrick, ever get confused with your brother in public, and if your brother's the one getting asked for autographs.
Actually, my first year up, everybody on the team thinks my brother looks like me. So a quick story, in New York, my first season, I had him run outside to get me some coffee, and he actually was signing some autographs for me. People were asking him. But the funny thing was he was signing it with his right hand, and I'm left-handed, so people didn't really catch up on it, and he kind of just signed a couple and went on his way to get some coffee.
Yeah, I think when fans think that they're with a Major League Baseball player, they don't really notice those little details, like which arm he's using to sign an autograph. We're going to go back to Twitter now, Patrick, and Mike B. Hahn wants to know, are you in favor of the National League adopting the DH? And since you're a pitcher, I would guess I know the answer.
No, I actually enjoy hitting. Whenever I can get on base or make a pitcher work, I think it's in my advantage. And if you think you're a little better hitter than the other pitcher, it's an advantage for you as a pitcher. So, and it's fun. It makes the game more interesting. You're involved in the game a little bit more, and I like it. I enjoy it. We hit a lot. We bunt a lot. So it's just another part of the game that we get to do.
Excellent. This is it's time now, Patrick, for our EDJ question of the day. And today's EDJ question: growing up a basketball player in the Syracuse area, are you a Syracuse basketball fan? And if so, what's your favorite Cuse memory?
Yes, I'm a huge basketball fan. I love watching basketball, especially Syracuse, and I miss playing the game. I grew up my whole life watching them, and Jim Boeheim always does a great job there. And definitely 2003 when they won the national championship with Carmelo Anthony. That was just a really exciting time for Syracuse and for myself and my friends and family who all grew up there.
Excellent. Yeah, that was a great team. Carmelo Anthony, all those guys on that team. Just a freshman, Carmelo Anthony, leading that team to the championship. All right, let's go back to Twitter now, Patrick. And Ty13 wants to know, what's your favorite thing to do in Phoenix when you don't have a baseball game to play?
Yeah, during the season, or if we have any free time, just going somewhere good to eat. There's a bunch of spots there that I really enjoy, and anytime we can get out, have a nice dinner at a decent hour, and not at 10 or 11 when the game ends, is always enjoyable. And most time in the off days, we'll relax or just hang out and have a good meal. And Scottsdale area and Phoenix, they have a bunch of good spots there.
This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Patrick Corbin taking some cuts in the cage today. We have fans lined up ready to talk to Patrick. And here is a fan right now. If you can just tell us your name, where you're from, go ahead with your question for Patrick Corbin.
How you doing? My name is Greg Johnson. I'm from Buffalo, New York. And I just wanted to know, how was it learning baseball so late in life?
I grew up playing multiple sports, and I never thought I'd be where I am today with baseball. Just love playing basketball, football, and baseball, and my parents allowed me to do all that growing up, and just pitching at a later age in life, I still knew I could get better, and I always knew I had a good arm just from all the other sports that I played. So it was fun going to college my first year, being able to play two sports, and still then didn't think I'd have a chance to be drafted until that next season. But it was fun just being able to play as many sports as I could, just trying to get better and just be around a team and go out there and compete, and was fortunate to get drafted and continue my career where I am today.
Seems like most pro athletes will say that they're in favor of playing lots of sports as a youngster, and you're certainly another player that fits the bill there. Let's go back to Twitter now, Patrick, and Dice845 wants to know, what do you miss, if anything, about upstate New York's winter weather?
That's the only time I get to go home is in the bad weather. So I don't miss the bad weather, but unfortunately that's the only time I get to go back home. So I would say just seeing my family and friends, they're all back there in upstate New York, and just being able to go back there in the off season, seeing them is always fun.
All right, we're going to go back to Twitter here, Patrick, and More Gore 23 wants to know, what was the first car that you ever drove?
First car, I bought a 2009 Audi A4 when I was drafted in 2009, and that was my first car, and I still have it today, actually. So
that is a pretty solid first car. We are actually out of time, Patrick, but thank you so much for stepping into the cage and taking some cuts today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
That does it for another edition of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Tune in again next time.